Alright, this is the New Year's episode. Merry late Christmas, happy late holidays to anybody else celebrating any other holidays, and Happy New Year to everybody. This video is about New Year's resolutions and why I've changed my opinion on them over the years. I used to think New Year's resolutions were kind of a load of crap. Every year I'd set a new resolution for myself, and I'd always kind of fail to live up to it. Sometimes these goals can be a little unrealistic to attain. So this basically is a rundown of what I think are the major steps to creating a successful New Year's resolution. Alright, step number 1. Find something that you care about. In the past I've really been focused on the typical New Year's resolution goals. All these kinds of things that everybody else seems to believe are like the best New Year's resolutions ever. See, the problem with that is I didn't really care about any of those things. So in order to find something that you care about, take a look at your life, maybe write some things down, things that are bringing you down, and things that are kind of holding you back in life. Completely put out everybody else's opinion and just kind of like lay it on the curb. Nobody cares about anybody else's opinion. Once you get rid of everybody else's opinion, your resolution becomes a lot more personal. And when something is personal to you, chances are you're gonna care a lot more about it, and you're gonna want to make that your resolution and not somebody else's resolution. Which brings me to step number 2. I guess this is more of a rule, not really a step. I realized that as I was going through it in my head. Regardless, this is super important, so pay attention. Step number 2, or rule number 2, it doesn't have to be a year-long process. For something to be a New Year's resolution, it doesn't necessarily have to be a New Year's routine. What I mean by that is going back to, like, say, the exercise example. While it is important to exercise, it's important to make sure that your habits change and that you're not forcing yourself to do the same thing every single day, even if you hate it. Slowly, ease yourself into it, whatever your goal is. Or if something is maybe a lifestyle change, cut that thing out at the beginning of the year and just keep up with it. Don't view it as something that you have to do, view it as something that will happen to you and will therefore impact the rest of the year. So for example, if you wanted to learn a new language this year, maybe don't think of it so much as, oh, I have to learn a new language this year, I have to study every single day. You're not gonna get anywhere with that mindset. Think of the resolution as finding the step that you need to take to learn a language. So for example, if you have the resources and the potential to find a language instructor or language tutor, that's gonna be a lot more helpful to think of your New Year's resolution as finding that person or finding that step than it is to think about having to do the bookwork every single day, because that's gonna get boring really, really fast. However, take that with a grain of salt as I introduce step number 3. Step numero 3. Hold yourself to it. Yes, you can, as Shia LaBeouf would say. While it is important to recognize that things don't have to be this mundane process, it is important to follow through on your New Year's resolution. No matter how simple or how tricky your New Year's resolution may be, you need to find ways to hold yourself to it, whether that be through a friend, through family, at least until you get into the routine of doing that thing or until you get on track to accomplish that thing. And as I'm saying this, I realize that step 3 is probably one of the most common and overused bits of advice about New Year's resolutions. But what I think about that is it's still really, really important. So keep in mind these 3 simple steps as we move into the new year. I hope that everybody has a wonderful new year. Keep an eye out for more content in the upcoming days, weeks, months. And that being said, I'm probably gonna introduce this video either later today or tomorrow. Today is New Year's Eve, and I'm gonna hold myself to either uploading it later tonight or tomorrow. But that being said, there will be kind of like a channel introduction coming after this video, which I know is kind of counterintuitive. That being said, I hope everybody has a great new year. Make sure to be happy and stay awesome, and we'll see you next year. Or this year, depending on when I upload this. I don't know.